Okay, alrighty. Hello, everyone again. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Football Fan Zone. We do the show weekly where we come to review the EPL matches over the weekend and, try to dissect, give our takes on some of the weekend's big matches in the Premier League. As usual, I remain my humble self, Mr. Imamode, here in the building. I have just one guest today with us on the show, the boss, the Adams. How you doing, man?
Yeah, man, doing okay. Like old times, just us two.
Yeah, just us two. Yeah, going to dissect everything Liverpool and Chelsea. We'll leave Arsenal and go. No Arsenal and no
For some
other.
reason, man, the Arsenal fans are running. I
They are
don't know how
running.
they are
Sports
running.
fans are running.
The Arsenal and the Spurs fans are running. Why are they
Yeah,
running?
they. Yeah, they hiding. All right. Yeah, so we'll get into all of that and more. Right. So let's just get straight into it. Yes. Where can we start? Let's start with the league leaders, the table toppers. My team, Liverpool Football Club, right
Of
now,
course, of
5 points.
course.
Of course, 5 points clear at the summit of the Premier League right now. Yeah, life feels good as a Liverpool fan. Our latest match saw us beat Aston Villa 2-0 at Anfield. Yeah, it was good, of course. Positive to get a win. It was good vibes, and especially the game just kicked off immediately after knowing that City had lost their game to Brighton. So there was that extra motivation. The crowd was, up for it. The stadium was bouncing. You could smell, when they say like the what's it called now? The hunter is smelling blood. When that's sort of this thing. So yeah, Liverpool could smell like, yeah, there was a chance to take, and oh boy, they did take the chance, and it was a tough game in terms of me looking at the game. Aston Villa are a decent team, good team. I think they're having some sort of bad patch right now. I think they've lost their last four games. So as a fan, when you see a team coming into that game, you're hearing that, oh, they've lost their last three games. So there's always that fear that, wow, could it be? Would they now be would my team be the team that they're not going to use that to sort of like gain some sort of confidence and gain back that winning formula? But no, Liverpool said no to that. Like Liverpool so far this season have meant the business. So none of that. Oh, we're coming to you. Since that Nottingham Forest disaster, it's been all smooth sailing for us. So yeah, it was good. Still on Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa this season have shown that, yeah, they're a very good team, doing very well in the Champions League, beating Bayern Munich. You know, giving even though they lost to Arsenal, give Arsenal a game. So they're a decent team, but Liverpool was like, nah, not coming here today. Today we're all for the 3 points. And yeah, from the Liverpool perspective, glad to see Darwin Núñez back on the score sheet. What
That
can we
was a
say?
crazy goal, by the way.
Um, that that was some finish.
It was a well
you know, I
taken
felt
goal.
yeah, at first, the thing about Darwin Núñez is there's always that thing that I think majority of people say, and I think I sort of agree, is that he's an instinctive striker. Like he's not someone that, how would I put it now? He doesn't like to think too much. He's not someone that wants to that you have to he wants to like take that extra touch. He just wants to like, I don't know how to explain it, bro. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah,
He's not,
I absolutely get what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, he's not someone that thinks if he just once take it once and then he will score. But if he's like he needs to think about, okay, where do I place it? How do I shape my body to shoot? Then he can always, like, which we saw that in that game as well. After the goal, he missed like another one-on-one chance where you
Yeah.
were like, come on. So that's Darwinius for you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That's why he's not that.
If you talk about guys like Harry Kane, like it feels like they practice the same thing and they have that exact same finish in their locker. So they always do the same things when they want to finish
Exactly.
a year, and it's like muscle memory when it comes to them. They just do it, execute, and it's a goal. But him, it doesn't feel like he does that. It just feels like whatever comes to his mind at that particular time, that's what he feels like doing. But yeah,
Doing,
he I think Michael always said it on one of his tweets where he always goes for like the most difficult finish, right?
yeah,
And sometimes that works well. And when it works, it's an incredible goal. But when he doesn't work, it's like, man, what's this guy doing, right? Yeah,
doing. So yeah, that's that. And David Nunes is someone that he still sort of like divides opinion among Liverpool fans. There'll be some fans that say, "Oh, they love him for his hard work, his graft, he tackles, he helps the team, he's a team player. Even when he's not scoring, he's sort of like helping the team." So there's always that side of the fan base, but there's always the other side that will say that's not what he's there for. He's in the team to score goals, and I'm looking at it. Arsenal fans will say, we'll still come to Arsenal, but Arsenal fans will say, oh, this sort of sticky period for them that they've had is because of some sort of injuries and one or two suspensions that they've had to keep players. That's why they are sort of not winning games, or that's why they've had this patch that they've had. So looking at Liverpool, right? There's that school of thought that, oh, up until now we've been sort of lucky with injuries and suspensions up to this point. And then it got me thinking. I'm saying, if we're to lose like maybe Salah for like say a month, and then or maybe a Van Dijk or a Konate, or maybe someone like Gravenberch, which is also having like a good season for us. How is that going to affect us? Let me get your take, the Adams. Do you think we might have that sort of patch that Arsenal have if we lose like a Salah or a Konate or Gravenberch?
Yeah, I think the discourse with the injuries is never objective, right? Like
Hmm.
everybody's trying to put in their own agenda into it, and that's understandable because they're rivals. But I think obviously, if any team, we see Man City, right? They're losing some of their key players and they're struggling. If any team loses some key pieces to their team, they're going to struggle, right? I think the only team that is close to still having a decent turnout after losing key guys is still Man City, but still they're also struggling. But having said that, Liverpool have also had some injuries. You guys are missing Allison. No, if any other team misses their number one goalie, except Man City, if Man City loses Edison, Ortega is a decent guy to come in. If Arsenal misses Raya, I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't. I think it's Neto or who's their second choice goalie. That's going to be a decisive miss. So you guys have also had a few injuries. You've had Allison. You've had Jota. So
Yes.
you've had a few injuries too. But I think if you miss Salah, if you miss Van Dijk, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same.
It's not going to be some. So there are some key players that are sort of like they're almost like irreplaceable. Like when they are not there, you're going to miss them. It's going to and it's also going to sort of like reflect on the results that will start coming afterwards. But look, yeah, good mention for Allison as well. People have actually forgotten that Allison has not been, and
Man,
that's
that guy, bro. Look.
as it. I don't know if it's Jurgen Klopp that said it maybe last season or some Tuesday. Like I think he's the best second choice keeper in the league. Like the guy
Nah,
has been superb.
nah. He like so. Look, from just as being a Chelsea fan, I faced him in like what 2 or 3 finals, and he's been
Yeah.
immense. Like he's he's been a
Chelsea fans,
phenomenal.
it's true. You remember him?
Nah, I remember him, man. I remember he's so annoying. I remember he tried to leave this season, and they blocked
Yes.
they blocked him. And that goes back to I was thinking about it this yesterday or 2 days ago. Like, do you do what is best for the player or what's best for the club? And I think Liverpool did what's best for the club by keeping him
Keeping
because
him.
as a football player, you want to play, right? You want to play every game, especially as a goalkeeper.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that he's Ireland's number one goalkeeper, right? So there will be. I know some majority of the Irish supporters are saying that why he's good enough. You should go to a team that get that regular starting spot. And I think Liverpool were kind of lucky if I remember the transfer saga well. I think Liverpool did not get the valuation that they wanted for him. Like the clubs that wanted to buy him were not bringing up the right valuation. So I think that ended up like I'm sure they had a meeting and they were like, yeah, sorry, we didn't get this thing for you. And I think I think he likes Liverpool. I don't know. Because if it's some other goalkeeper, they'll be like, no, they want to go, they'll be pushing. But I think he's just like, yeah, fine, no worries. I like Liverpool, you guys have given me a lot. So maybe
I
I
need
can
him
stay
to
one more
leave, man.
season.
I need him to leave, man.
Yeah, the guys really saved us. Like there are some key games, like yeah, even against Aston Villa, some sort of decent saves that at 1-0, if Aston Villa equalized or that sort of thing
And
could
and
have
that's
been.
just the beauty of football. It's like you see this guy. This guy is good. He's making decisive saves. but he's nowhere near Allison.
That's just it. That's just how it is. It's sort of like it has that unfair like what else can you do? What else can you do? But it's just I don't know. I really feel for him, and a lot of Liverpool fans have like sort of said like they're fine if he eventually leaves. Like of course they will give him their blessing. Like everybody understands that he's too good to be a second choice. But we're happy that he's still here with us and he's doing the business for us. So yeah, good one for us, and hopefully we can call on if we call on him again this season, he'll be able to like sort of step up to the mark just as he has done. So finally on Liverpool. So I think finally in terms of where we find ourselves now at the top of the table, like of course it's great to be where we are, but it just has that sort of like that psychological feeling like do you want to be top this early, or do you want to be like a Man City just behind, and then that no worries, you need to I don't know how to put it, but it just has that psychological edge. If a Man City are and Arsenal who have been decent, this is chasing you, so there's that fear. But and then you hear rival fans saying or Arsenal fans saying they've played more tougher games than Liverpool. So let's see how Liverpool will fare when they play those games that we've played, those sort of like these difficult away games. Away to Aston Villa, away to Man City, away to Tottenham, away to Chelsea as well. So that's fair. But like my dad will always tell me when we were gisting, he say a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So we're fine. We're fine with where we are right now. Yes. Who is to say when we have those difficult away games, it seems that we so quote unquote difficult away games. I wish we're not going to catch them at their bad patch, So that's something to also consider. So yeah, feels good. As a Liverpool fan right now, life is good. So people are like, this is too good to be true. I wish hopefully they don't say one COVID strain has come up. And then something like that happens. But yeah, life is good. Yeah, there was anything on Liverpool before we move on from there.
Hey man, like now I won't even lie. You guys have been impressive, especially like if you go back. I said it last episode. If you go back to everybody's preseason predictions, we're like, nah, and a slot. We don't know too much about him. This Liverpool squad, they're on the way down. This and that. But so far, you guys have proven, all of us wrong. And fair play to you guys, man. Fair play. But
Fair play.
I need you guys to own it, man. I need you guys to own it because I'm seeing a few. I won't mention names. Maybe I would. Rafi. Hey, Rafi, man. Look, I don't want to hear none of that. Nottingham Forest are still in the top 4. They are not even in the top 4 anymore. So, bro, you guys have to own it. You're in a title challenge. You have to own that title challenge. Look, you guys are not. You're not the team. You're not playing. You're fans, right? You're fans. You are not affecting the results. Okay, I think fans don't really affect the result, maybe about 1% because of their support or whatever. You guys are not playing, right? Leave it to the players. Let the players say, no, we're not in a title race, and we'll take it a game at a time. But we are fans. Fans are supposed to be excited. Your team is on top of the league. Be excited that your team is on top of the league, right? Yeah, be excited. I don't know why you guys are trying to play cool. No, you know what? Nah, we are not ready yet. We're not in a title challenge. We're not Arsenal, we're not Man City. I don't get that. Look, we always want fans to, take pride in their team and support their team. And you'll be excited for their team to be on top of the league. So you guys are on top of the league right now. So be excited, right? Be excited. Enjoy the moments.
Yeah. I'm excited, to be honest. I'm just quietly excited. It does a thing. Okay, and then I think finally as well. I'm looking at. I think the last week in November. That's the November 27th and 1st of December. Those two dates are in my diary. You know why? Why? Those are 4 days apart. Madrid at Anfield in the Champions League, Man City in the Premier League 4 days later.
Look, like those fixtures on paper, they look scary, but those two teams, we've seen those two teams in recent memory, like 2 weeks, 1 week ago. They've not been great. Like if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm like, you know what? Bring them on.
Bring them on. My dream is just I just need us to be 5 points ahead of Man City before that game. Like, let's just maintain this lead we have before that game. I think it's going to put some sort of pressure on Man City, and if they fumble, if we go 8 points ahead, then maybe I can start dreaming. Maybe I can start
Only
dreaming,
dream,
but
only dream when it's 12 points. 12 points dream. 8 points,
it's
you know.
yeah. And the funny thing is that Man City played Tottenham before the playoffs, and Tottenham, has some sort of good record against them. Hopefully, Uzo, your team can do me a favor.
Hey.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right. That's enough of Liverpool right now. Let's come to Chelsea. The Adams, let's come to your team. The
Yes, sir.
Blues. We saw your team this
Hey man,
weekend.
we helped you guys out, man. We helped you guys out.
Yeah, you guys took some points from us now. Yeah, good one, guys. Yeah, good one, good job from you guys, Chelsea, man. But yeah, in terms of what you saw in the game, so let me first get your thoughts on how you saw your team perform.
I felt like it was a decent performance. It was a different performance. I looked at a couple individuals and I was excited for the future. I looked like guys like Caicedo. I'm like, whoa, you know, captain decide. He felt like you could see his passion throughout the game. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I look like Cucurella. And guys are taking leaps, right?
Yeah,
Guys are improving.
yeah,
And that's what you want to see. And I looked at the game overall. I felt like it was a chess game between two Guardiola pupils or whatever you want to refer them as, right?
proteges.
Yeah, proteges. And they had you just felt like we had a moment where in the first half Palmer was finding joy. He had a lot of space. And Ateta tweaked something, he didn't find a lot of space. And towards throughout the game, Odegaard was, we notified Odegaard. And something else happened. Odegaard found space towards like 20 minutes to the end of the game. He became more influential. He was able to get the assist. So, yeah, it was a very interesting game. And I'm particularly pleased with my team's ability to come back from behind. Last season, we didn't say that a lot. And also, I was glad that we didn't make it a basketball game, right? We contained the game, we stayed in the game. There were a lot of, like I said, tactical tweaks, in-game management, substitutions, and it's evidence that the coach knows what he's doing, right? But there's still also that feeling where we could have gone for it a bit more, where the home team we could have maybe nicked a win. I felt that way against Manchester United. Like, we're not as aggressive as I would have expected us to be. But again, I'm saying to myself on my review of the game, I'm like, we have to be a bit humble, right? Coming from last season to now, we don't expect to just take that jump immediately. All right. So I'm saying to myself, you know what? I'm pleased with the performance. I'm pleased with the ability of a lot of the guys and looking at where they've been to now. I'm okay. I'm okay with the points. I know it's Arsenal. We always want to win against Arsenal, but at the same time, Arsenal are a lot more ahead in terms of their
Yes.
development. They've had their coach for 5 years. Those are no excuses. They're just facts, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pleased with my team. I've seen a lot of development, like I said. And the next step, I think we're due a big win. Like we
Yeah.
need to win one of these big games, and it needs to come soon. But for now, I'm okay. I think it was a decent performance, and I was pleased with the team.
Yeah, yeah. I think from what I saw as well, towards the latter part of the game, I think Chelsea sort of held their own at some point, and then I think it was a decent result. Like, it was a good result. Arsenal over the years, I think they've had decent results at Stamford Bridge as well. So I'm sure that would have played some sort of part in maybe how Chelsea were a bit naive, or trying to be like, okay. And so, and Arsenal are sort of, like you mentioned, sort of like ahead in their development as well. So that's sort of first. But Chelsea being Chelsea and all they've done over the years, their fans will be like, yeah, nah, we need to beat Arsenal. And and there was also that sort of coming into the game, that sort of like, yeah, Arsenal are vulnerable based on the result they've had over the few weeks. Chelsea fans would have been like, nah, what? You know, when you're like, you know, when somebody's you're saying like, this person is half dead, like in a movie. Somebody's just there, like they just twist the knife into them, you know. And I'm sure that's what Chelsea fans are like, we'll do this, but nah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, we
typical.
had to be cautious as well, you know, and yeah. I think Arsenal as well. They had they. Ateta said they dominated us post game. By the way, which is crazy, but
That's
that's
something
by
we'll
the
come
way.
to.
Yeah,
Yes. So I think right now, so I think let's look at like a general outlook for Chelsea now, like the season gone and whatever and what's left of the season in terms of what Chelsea can achieve, right? I just want to, I don't know. Let me ask you as a Chelsea fan, if or let me put it this way. So when Enzo Maresca was appointed, when he got the job, looking at, I'm sure the board were like, okay, we know where we're coming from. What do you think they would have told Maresca that, yeah, this is your objective, this is what you should be achieving for us? Like, this is Maresca, this is your contract, this is what we need you to do with this squad of players that we have given you. What do you think that objective would have been?
I think absolutely the Champions League has to be there. He has to qualify for a Champions League. I know he has tried to play it down a couple of times that, oh no, nobody told me anything about Champions League, but I
So
think
in your mind, that's the barest minimum.
that's the
Like,
best minimum. And Conference League, he has to win the Conference League. Conference League has to be wrapped up, and then you need to qualify for a Champions League.
Champions League. First. I think that would be a decent sort of like objective for a team like Chelsea, you know. And the thing about it is like the Champions League qualification is so competitive right
It
now.
is. It is. That's why I
It
was happy for
is,
the Aston Villa loss. Like, because I know Aston Villa is one team. Aston Villa, Spurs, and United. I know United are.
yeah,
They look like they're
far
even
behind. But
Spurs, but it'll go down to the wire.
I think it's crazy. I think United are what 13th or
Yeah.
12th, and they are just 4 points behind fourth place. So
Yeah.
it's not that
It's
that gap
not.
is not that.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. It's really
Yeah,
close.
it's really a competitive season. I think in terms of the title, I think I was reading an article that said the winner of this year Premier League might not even need to be as perfect as like previous seasons where you have to go 89, 90, 95 points. Who knows? Who knows? It's a very competitive season. A lot of people will drop points along the way, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so let's flip the coin now and touch on Arsenal, right? Arsenal, they're sort of like we've mentioned before, they're sort of like on a rough patch. You know, a lot of grumblings among their fans. You know, that's something I don't actually get. You know, but I'll still come to that later. You know, so you have them like, yeah, they lost 1-0 to Newcastle, lost 1-0 to Inter Milan. I think some weeks back they had lost to Bournemouth as well, and then maybe they drew with Liverpool. So I think they were on some sort of they're now like on a 4-game winless streak, if you could put it that way. And I think they said, I reading somewhere said this is the first time since April 2023 that Arsenal have found themselves in this place. So, like, first, Arsenal over the recent memory have been good. So you can imagine their fans being a bit sort of like hysterical, as like, wow, they are not used to seeing their team this sort of, in this sort of form. And then you hear people saying, come on, but I know it's just rivals comment, but you hear people saying, oh, Arsenal's banter era is back. Come on. Still November, and of course they're just 9 points. Well, they are 9 points away. Let me not say just, but they are 9 points away from like the summit of the table. But I think some of the fans are a bit too reactionary. I don't know. Maybe it's this age of social media. People you hear people saying, "Oh, Ateta out." This, I'm like, you guys, you can't. Do you remember where you're coming from? Like, fine, first, I know you're disappointed. You've lost 2 title races, but look at where you're coming from and look at where you are now. So I think some fans should just be a bit more circumspect, put things in perspective, and don't just jump on the reactionary train and say, "Oh, we want this coach out," or "We want this player out." A player that's done well over the recent seasons, and they mean he's just having a bad patch, and you're just like sort of like jumping on the back of the manager of the player. So yeah, Adams, your take on your Arsenal?
Before I start on Arsenal, man, you see Havertz. You see Kai Havertz, man. This guy came to Stamford Bridge and scored an offside goal, by the way, which like, bro, how are you offside? How that was no, you're a striker, right? How can you be offside there? And he was shushing us.
But it was tight. It was close though. It was close. I
Nah,
think.
it shouldn't even be close. It shouldn't be close. It shouldn't be close. You should do you know how many times he was offside on that game at the bridge? Nah, it's crazy. And this guy had the infantry to shush. Bro, we've had players come from. We had Ashley Cole, we've had Fabregas, we have Giroud, we have these guys come over from Arsenal to Chelsea, and they didn't need to be disrespectful to the club that they played. They just did the business on the pitch, right?
Nah,
And
but
and,
but
and they won trophies. Like he came to the bridge and he had the infantry to do that to us. Now, because of him, right? Arsenal are not winning anything. Now, Arsenal are not winning anything because of him, man. Because of him, Arsenal are not winning anything this season. Write that down. They are not winning anything because of
all
that.
right. Yeah,
Now,
we
it's
need
arrogance
that.
off the chains, bro. What are you doing? Even if you had won that game, it's not like they won the league. But yeah, that's besides the points. Let's get back to the main point. Arsenal, yeah, like you said, I agree with you. I think the reactions are over the top. It's the social media era. They've they've actually had a very difficult run of games. They've had injuries, and I still feel like you know they will still be thereabouts. Like we always say, I still feel like it's still too early to decide. We had this type of thing happen last season where we wrote them off early on. They had that patchy, they couldn't score goals, they couldn't create chances, and it was like, oh no,
Yeah,
Arsenal are back in their battle era. But I think they'll ride the current wave of public opinion, and then they will get better. The only thing I'll say is, as long as they don't make it a 12 points gap, I think I'll still see them in the title race. As long as they
yeah,
keep it respectable, as long as it's 9 points, if they can cut it down to six, yeah, I'll still see them in the title race till the final day. But that game against Chelsea, though, I felt from an Arsenal perspective, right? From an Arsenal perspective, I felt like Arsenal 2 years ago would probably have won that game.
hmm,
Arsenal 2 years ago probably have won that game because Chelsea's press was not was not very effective. They could have bypassed the press. The midfield of Declan Rice and Moreno, they spent a lot of money on those guys. But I'm looking at guys like Shaka and maybe Thomas Partey in that middle in their prime 2 seasons ago. I felt like they could have bypassed that press, that the press that we had, and they could have created more opportunities. But yeah, that's just my feeling. I feel I wish we had an Arsenal fan here. I would have asked their perspective. Do they feel like the Arsenal team 2 years ago would have won? Although Odegaard and Saka have been injured, they're just coming back from injury, so we have to also put that into perspective that they've not have enough match fitness leading to that game, especially Odegaard. He played against Inter, he was out for 2 months, and he played against Chelsea, so it's not like he was match fit, right? So yeah, that also plays into it. But I do feel that Arsenal 2 years ago would have probably, because Arsenal 2 years ago they were scary. They were
yeah,
really unplayable. So I feel like Arsenal 2 years ago would have won that game. So the people that are saying maybe Arsenal regressed in the way they play, I don't want to agree with it, but I'm almost leaning towards that too. And the goal that they conceded too last season, I don't think Arsenal concedes that goal
hmm.
because it
So
was it was second phase of play. We had Saliba out of position. Declan Rice wasn't exactly covering the middle of the pitch. It was so easy. That was a very easy goal to
yeah,
score.
it was like there was a gap that Neto just saw and just ran into,
Yeah,
and
and
it
this
was
is
not
me.
closed down quickly. Yeah,
Exactly. I was like, nah, that Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal concedes goals like that. Especially, when I saw them start of the season, I'm like, nah, this team looks very defensive, and it will be hard to get goals against this team.
yeah,
But that
yeah,
goal, it was too easy to score that
yeah.
goal.
It was. It's just. I don't know, man. The things just sort of a small change, and then it just all started with that Bournemouth result, and then it just looks like Arsenal's very, at the early part of the season. I didn't remember. I think there was the game with Man City, and I think it was the game before where we watched Arsenal. We were like, wow. And there was that talk. I think that was around the time where Arsenal fans and some other fans were like, wow, maybe this is the Arsenal team that will break that Chelsea's
Oh,
record of 15
come on,
goals.
come on, man.
They were going to break that record. That record, man. By the way, anytime I have the opportunity, I'll keep on saying it. That record is, I think that record is going to stand the test of time.
Look, I always put that record up against the Invincibles.
So are you saying that record is better than the Invincibles record?
Look, I mean, those two records are incredible, but look, 15 goals, nah, man.
In the whole season.
But we've had teams even across other leagues. I don't think anybody's doing it across any other league.
It's a record. That record is so crazy. Fair play to Mourinho, man, and those players of that era. That's insane. So yeah, so there was talk around that time, right? Who was now the defense. Before they were even comparing the Saliba and Gabriel partnership to some of the best we've seen in Premier League. But now all those talkers, all that talk has died. And then there was that, I'm going to see there was that talk about Arsenal fans saying, in fact, they're going to recreate their invincible era. If they go to Anfield and they don't lose, in fact, they're going to. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, but I just have to laugh because.
Please.
But that's the thing about being a fan. Of course, you can always dream like, yeah, my team can do this. Why not? And that's why you always back your team. And then when it doesn't happen, you're sort of like disappointed. Okay, so let's look at one area that I think since last season up until this season, the discourse sort of comes and goes with us now, and that's this discourse around the striker position, right? I know there was a time maybe towards the end of last season, and then maybe during the summer transfer window before the season started, where they were like, "Oh, Arsenal needs to sign a striker. Arsenal needs to sign a striker. Is it Osimhen? Is it Benjamin Sesko? Is it the Sporting Jokeres?"
Yeah.
So Arsenal were like, and then I think Chuks. I think I asked Chuks that question earlier in the season. I think he was like, nah. I think he sort of, I can't remember how he put it, but he sort of like downplayed it. I'm like,
see, agenda has blinded Chuk's eyes. He can't see clearly. He can't see clearly that Kai Havertz bro.
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah, so that means that you're saying that they need that top 9 marksman.
Hey man, listen. I hope they keep on hoping Kai Havertz is going to be the guy. Look, Kai Havertz, I'm not even going to lie. Like, he's had an incredible leap since he's been at Arsenal. He has made that striker position his own, but he's not the guy to win you a league. He can be part of the team. He can be part of the squad and play an important role, but he's not absolutely that guy to get you 20 goals a season. He's not that guy.
That drags you to a league title first.
No, he's not that guy. At least not.
So you're saying Arsenal missed a trick, the transfer window.
Yeah.
Last season. All right. I remember Chuks. I think I remember that episode where Chuks was like, nah, everybody just keeps on saying striker. I think I'm fine with a midfielder, a Merino. I think that was about the time Merino was about to be confirmed.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, we just need that. We sorted that out.
Hey, man, I wanted to ask you guys, I wish Chuks was on here. I wanted to ask him about Edu. What do you think about Edu leaving? Is that something, or do you think that's just, is really nothing?
To be honest, I don't really have so much on that. But I think from what I've seen from the reaction of Arsenal fans, a lot of them, or a majority of them, seem happy. They were like, oh, maybe Edu did not get he wasn't clinical enough in the transfer window. They missed out on some sort of key targets for them. So they're sort of like, it's more of like good riddance to them. So they are the ones, maybe if Chuks was here, he would have given us that sort of perspective. But maybe when next is here, we'll keep it and ask him about it. But yeah, we'll see. Only time, like they say, will tell if that was indeed a good move or not. So yeah, so I think, of course, I agree with the majority of the people, and I think you inclusive that maybe Arsenal need that marksman. I know January cannot come soon enough for some Arsenal fans, But But that would be interesting to see where they
I
are.
don't think they get anybody in January. Who are they gonna get? They're not getting a Sime. I don't think they're going to get.
Do they have a chance to Gyökeres and Sporting will
I
release
don't
him
think they're going to. They will be willing to spend the amount of money.
in
So,
January?
yeah.
Fairs. That's interesting. We'll see how it all unfolds. But I think Arsenal will this sort of patch will go. And I think that looking at the fixtures, I think the fixtures look sort of favorable to them, but you never know. The Premier League is the Premier League. You're looking at, I remember Arsenal some weeks ago, home game against Leicester. Though they came back to win that game, but it was not straightforward as you would have thought when the game was about to start. As a Liverpool fan, I remember Nottingham Forest at Anfield. They've not won. You be hearing all those previews. They've not won in Anfield in 60 years. So you're like, this just, and then something like that happened. That's
we have a lot of this type of games, man. Chelsea,
those things just come and then the team just ends that sort of record. So you never know. Like Arsenal's next game, I think, is Nottingham Forest at home. So as a Liverpool fan, you're like, that's a tricky game. Do we Nottingham Forest approach those sort of games? But we'll see. I'm sure that we'll see how it goes for Arsenal. And yeah, they can't wait for the international break to be back so that they can get back to winning ways. Right. Okay. So who do we move on to next? Spurs. Let's talk Spurs. Let's talk Ange Postecoglou. When the Spurs
Uzo is wanted man, by the way. By the way, like, look, he didn't show up today because Spurs lost.
He has not been responding to message. Where is Uzo?
Now
I'm sure if you ask, I'm sure when he comes back, you'll be like,
now we're making that poster. We're making that poster too. Because we did it for George. We have to be consistent. We're doing it for Uzo too. Where is Uzo?
Uzo. So the thing about Spurs is I'm sure their fans are just like, yeah.
There's nothing about Spurs. Spurs is Spurs.
Just because it's so annoying. It's just like you're looking at the weeks leading up to that game, right? Beat Man City at home. Aston Villa that were flying, spanked them like 3 or 4-0 at home. Then you're seeing Tottenham's next game against Ipswich. And then as a Tottenham fan, you're like, Ipswich have not won any game this season in the Premier League. You're like, okay, wow, this is a good. And I saw their fans saying, win that game. And I think they had a chance of even going third ahead of Arsenal and Chelsea if they had won that game. And then only for me to be like on my way home because I was home and then I was seeing Ipswich leading 2-0 at Tottenham. And you're like, wow. So it's just, I don't know. Tottenham. It's just, I don't know. What do you say? Where do you start to analyze from?
Man, it's the history of the Tottenham. That's just their history, man. I don't have to analyze nothing, man. Look, that's how they are. And it works the opposite way too. Whenever you write them off and like, you know what, Tottenham has lost this game, blah, blah, blah. They come back and they win. Like, I remember Man City were like, how are they going to win against Man City? And they won. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. Tottenham are just the way they are. I didn't see that game. I saw some of the highlights of that game. And shout out Ipswich, man. Shout out Ipswich. I think they really deserve that win. They played really well. I think it was 3 minutes for me. They scored a really early goal. Very early goal. Was it that game? It might have been that game.
Yeah, I think it was that game, yeah.
And then the second goal was that's why playing out the back works. The second goal, Tottenham actually almost nicked the ball and scored because their keeper had an haul. He was trying to play out the back and he did something, but they managed to clear the ball out, and from there a few passes and they scored. It was just incredible. It was incredible. But yeah, I mean, it's Tottenham, man. That's what
it's the Tottenham. Yeah,
that's what they do.
I'm looking at Ange right now, and a lot of Tottenham fans have been. I think Uzo has been one critic. I'm like, nah. I think he's Ange out. He's not buying Ange. What Ange said.
But what players do they have though? They don't like.
so that's the thing. I think that's what a lot of sports fans, right, are like. You should be doing more with the players that they have. I don't know. You might agree. You might disagree. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe fans are just I don't know. Is it? I don't
Like
even.
I think he's doing okay. Like he has his own his deficiencies for sure, but the players that he has, come on,
Yeah,
man.
but
Dragusin
yeah,
was playing, and they had look. I don't know what
yeah.
you.
So I think the annoyance is, so you have games like Crystal Palace and Ipswich, right? Those two teams had not won on any game this season until they met Tottenham. Crystal Palace were, in fact, that, in fact, in fact, I remember reading somewhere. Because I was reading the preview to the weekend when they lost to Crystal Palace. The Fulham manager, what's his name now? Oliver Glasner. That game was like a game that if he lost
They're
that
going to
game,
sack him.
they would sack him. And Tottenham came into town and said, "You know what, bro? We got you. We got you. Mateta, oh yeah, do the business."
Nah, man. Look, if there's any game I'm sure of, it's a sports game. It's a sports game.
As a Chelsea fan, yeah, so
Yeah,
sure.
there's bro. Is if
Oh,
there's
last season,
any
home and away.
if there's any game I'm sure of, it's a sports game, man. Look, that's what they do. That's what they do. That's how they do it. Like they always give you hope. They always
They
give
give
you
you a
hope for your
chance.
team.
And then just to add, right, I'm looking at the Carabao Cup now. I think we're in the quarterfinals now. Tottenham, United, Arsenal, those three teams. I can smell the desperation among their fan base to win that trophy. There's that. It feels like if it feels like those three clubs, right? You can't weigh the importance of one of them winning that
Now
Carabao
we
Cup.
we need to do everything we have to do to stop Manchester United from winning a trophy this year. We have to
Why?
because I'm tired of the bro. They've always been useless all year, and they managed
And
to sneak a trophy, and then the narrative changes.
they had a
Like
better season than you. They finished like 19th, but they had
we
two,
need
two
to stop
trophies.
them from winning a trophy. Man. Look, we need to stop these guys from winning a trophy. I don't know how you guys want to do it. Spurs, look, I have faith in Liverpool. I know Liverpool don't joke with that with those type of competitions
I don't know about
historically.
Liverpool. I don't know
Nah,
about
you guys don't joke with that
Liverpool this
competition.
season. I
But
don't know about
please,
Liverpool
I'll
this
take
season.
Arsenal. I'm not even lying. I'll take Arsenal over Sport
Guinea
over Manchester United.
and even Spurs.
Nah, no. My ideal winner is Spurs. My ideal winner is Spurs. Spurs can
Yeah,
have it. Spurs
me
can have
too.
it. I don't care about them. They can have that. They can have that trophy. But Arsenal, maybe Arsenal can. No, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal. Then United should not even smell any trophy this season. Now, I'm tired of those guys
Wow.
winning anything, man. I'm tired
Wow.
of those guys winning anything.
I'm just a Manchester United fans will be like, who is this hater?
Now, because they play
So
rubbish. They are rubbish all through the year, and they find a way to sneak in into a trophy and they win.
yeah,
Last
yeah.
year
I
it
think
was Man City's hangover that won them the trophy. The year before it was a
where
useless,
Rodri was saying that they were drunk. They
it
were
was a
drunk on the
useless
fine.
Newcastle team. A useless Newcastle team that handed them the trophy. Bro, we can't let them win this year, man. And that goes to you too. Because if they win, look, they're chipping in away, man. I don't know
Yeah.
how
And
many. Go ahead.
I wanted to make it interesting. The fixture is that quarterfinal fixture is Tottenham versus Manchester United.
Amen.
So that is
Spurs, man.
a
Come on, you
key
Spurs.
game.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's go, Spurs. Let's go, Spurs.
Yeah, yeah. That should be interesting. I wonder if Ange wins that trophy for Spurs. Wow.
Oh no! That changes the trajectory of their season, man.
Wow.
That changes
Wow.
everything for them. It changes everything for them. I will
I
even
think
go
it's
as far as saying that he puts his name in the history books.
Tottenham's is folklore. I got they call that in
I'll go as far as saying that.
legendary status if he wins that.
If-
Of course, if for a team that's not won in a long while, the manager comes in and then of course you always have that. I'm sure they will forget everything that's happened earlier in the season and they'll be like, yeah, and you are the man. So yes, as a Liverpool fan, if Liverpool goes out of the Carabao Cup, which I won't have any sort of problems with. I think I can back Spurs to win it, and I'll be hoping they win it out of
Yeah, come on,
all the other
Spurs.
teams that are
Come on, Spurs. Come on, Spurs.
there.
Let's do it.
Absolutely,
Let's do it, man.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I think Manchester United, Manchester United. What can we say? We saw the game this weekend. 3-0 win over Leicester City. Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, um, goals from them, ensure that they won 3-0. It feels like there's some sort of positive vibes sort of starting to come from Manchester United, They've had their legend, the rude boy. I call him the rude boy, Rude Van Nistelrooy, guiding them. I don't think he lost any game during that his spell during his interim charge. So yeah, he didn't do himself any harm, But yeah, so he's gone now. So but after the international break, the Ruben Amorim guy is gonna come in, three at the back.
You said that. You say that like it's a joke.
No, it's not a joke. No, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it to be a joke. I think Ruben Amorim seems like a good coach, right? He can come in. It's left to see what he can come in and do with this sort of set of players. As a manager, as a new manager coming in, I always have that sort of philosophy or thoughts that you are coming into a sort of like a new environment. You don't have the players that you might want to. You have to work with what you have. So to judge Amorim will be like, how can he get the best out of these current Manchester United players that are currently in place right now? What do you think, the others? Do you think he can? Or what's the best he can achieve with this Manchester United team? Let me put it that way.
I like Amorim. I looked at him before Chelsea got Maresca. He was somebody that I wanted at Chelsea because I knew, I went back, I dug through, I saw some of his games at Sporting, I saw his philosophy. He's quite interesting, right? He has a very, interesting way of pressing and defensively solid, like you said, three at the back, but they're also really good going forward. Their wing backs always create loads of chances, loads and loads of chances. And I feel like Manchester United, they have the players, they just need to buy into the system. But I don't think it's a quick fix with Manchester United. I feel like they have other issues off the pitch. I feel like some of the players that are there are not, Manchester United quality, and he might take him some time to sort of find the balance and get his guys, but they'll be okay. They won't be as bad as they were last season. I feel like they're going to compete for like top 4, top 5. But I feel like I think they'll be in the Champions League picture throughout the season. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think yeah, like I mentioned at the start of the show or sometime during the show that they're not far away from like top 4 positions, just like 4 points away. So yeah, there's that feeling, there's that optimism, with a new manager coming in, you're not far away from exactly. So there's that team should not write us off, we're sort of there or thereabouts. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. As a Liverpool fan, of course, Manchester United downfall is always my happiness. So I cannot say I'm wishing him all the best, but yeah, we'll see what he offers when he starts, when it comes to the Premier League. Okay, and then let's touch on Manchester City, Adams. For the first time some people have been disputing that it's not true, but I think until it's proven otherwise, I think for the first time in Pep Guardiola's managerial career, where he's going to lose 4 straight games in a row. Though you can say, different competitions, but for a manager like Guardiola, that is something that is unheard of. And I think his post-match conference, he was saying that, maybe there's fatigue. We've won it 4 times in a row. Maybe it's time for somebody else to win it. And in my mind, I'm like, Pep, yes, just slow down. No, just furious. Yes, furious. No, we'll just carry this forward, But that's the thing about Pep and Manchester
He's saying that, man. He doesn't really mean that, man. That.
That's the thing. That's the thing. People always say, "Yo, Pep is just saying," only for him to do that 15-game winning streak, and they just go and then it's just that's what they've done over the years, and you can't blame people saying it. They'll have this blip, but I don't think they've had something as bad as this. But they'll have
They haven't.
They haven't said, but they will have this mini bleep, and then they will be like, and then they just go on a sort of run where they just you're looking at them and they're not losing, especially as a team who's chasing them. I really felt bad for Arsenal fans towards the end of last season. You win your game and you're watching City. Okay, this is the game they drop. They look like they're going to drop points, and then one last minute banger or dagger from Kevin De Bruyne, and then you're like, wow, here we go again. So it's just like, you just can't write them off. You can't write them off. 5 points is almost like nothing to them. At this stage of the season,
Nah, 5
there's
points
not,
is nothing. 5 points
there's
is
nothing.
nothing.
Especially when they're playing Liverpool like 2 weeks time, you'll feel like, yeah, there's nothing decided yet. And then that's why I'm angry. You see that EPL supercomputer saying, "Oh, Liverpool is how many percentage chance of winning it?" I don't know why they're doing that since so early, man. So they can laugh at us in case we fall off.
Yeah, we'll be here, man. We are just here to laugh at whoever fumbles, man.
You're not serious. That's what you're here for, to laugh at whoever fumbles. Right. So yeah. So like I was saying, yeah, Manchester City. I know you can't rule them out. Yeah, they will be there. They're about. But this is the first time that. Is it the first time? But they're not going to be having Rodri for the whole of the season.
Yeah.
Unlike before, we'll say, oh, this person is injured, but they'll have him back by maybe, yeah. But there's no De Bruyne coming back. That's going to be interesting. How does that affect
Bruyne is
the
still coming
dynamic?
back.
That's it, De Bruyne. Sorry, Rodri. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, De Bruyne came. I think he's back. He came in towards the end of that game, but he couldn't really. But De Bruyne is back. So yeah, Manchester City. Interesting few weeks ahead for them. Interesting few weeks ahead, especially that game at Anfield. That game is gonna be the game. That game is gonna be
That's
the
the
game.
game, man. That's the game.
That's the game. If we win that game and go like 8 or 11 points clear,
The title is over, man.
I can start planning my trip to go and join the title party at Anfield. Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, the Adams. Pretty much, I think that's pretty much it. We've sort of covered all top teams. Yeah, so international break, a time to for teams to reflect, a time for teams to sort of get injured players back. A lot of injured players.
I hear a little birdie tells me Trent is injured.
Yes,
is that one of those tactics you guys are starting to act like City are Arsenal right now? No, right?
It's actually confirmed that Trent is out for like a few weeks. I think 2 weeks or so.
Hey man, but you guys have Conor Bradley, man. So you guys will be fine.
Conor Bradley, yeah, fair play to young Conor Bradley. Yes, he's done a good job when called upon, but he doesn't give us that sort of attacking, side of the things that Trent would give us. But yeah, fair play to him. He's done well. I think I need Trent back for that double header, Madrid and Man City. He has to be back for those games, man. Those are crucial games in our season. Well, not so much for the Madrid game, because yeah, I can take a draw in that game. We're fine. We're comfortable in terms of where we are in the table of the Champions League. That Man City game is the one for me, man. That's the one that
you have to win. You guys can't lose that game if you have title ambitions.
The way I'm even saying it, like I won't accept a draw. We have to put Man City to the sword, like 8 points. Just dispatch them up. Just put them aside.
It's a long time to then, but we'll see. We'll get your thoughts just before the game.
Just exactly. And the thing about it is that life is so funny, because I'm looking at that game and say, oh, 8 points. Oh, this, but there's a Southampton before that game. What happens if you somehow draw points against Southampton? So football can be very interesting.
Crazy sport, man. Crazy sport. What do you think about the referee, man? The referee that they.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been someone that. And that's before I come to that particular referee incident we saw on social media today. The thing about it is, I've always had that take that I don't always jump on all this refereeing conspiracy theory train. I'm always someone that I'm like, okay, the ref made a honest mistake, it's fine, they're human. These guys the amount, the pressure, the way the game is fast and all that, they have to make a split decision and all that. So I've been someone that I was always sort of giving the referee the slack, like yeah, let's give him that slack. That oh yeah, he's human, he can make mistake. And then that's been my grounds with a lot of Arsenal fans when they've been referee any game, the refereeing this, they're against us. So I've been that thing has really sort of like put me off. Let me not say piss me off, but it's been sort of irritating for me to see. But when this video came out, it got me thinking like, wow, is it that some of these Premier League referees are biased against some particular teams? Because you have fans that always say, "Oh, I know Liverpool fans have been this is something that Liverpool fans have been saying right from years back when we had Fergie in the league. There was a time that a Liverpool fan did a sort of like a blog or something that said majority of the referees come from a particular area in Manchester or something, or some of them support a Manchester club, maybe not Manchester United, but they live in the area, like, or they have families that are there. So you're wondering, is it that some of those guys they've influenced some sort of decisions that have had huge impacts on the outcome of games? And then when something like this comes up, you have fans now going back and saying, "Oh, this was the game that the guy refed us," and then see this Odegaard handball or the Rodri. There was that particular Rodri handball will stay with me for I'm almost tempted to say forever. There was that Rodri handball against Everton, where we're chasing. I think it was 3 games to the end of the season. The handball inside that would have given, like, Everton could have even won that game, and then if Everton had won that, the Liverpool have gone on to have won that league. So you have Liverpool fans saying that guy has cost us like 2 or 3 Premier League titles. I don't know, man. I don't want to start believing that.
But I like you said, man. I just feel like refereeing mistakes cost everybody, because I'm sure that there are times where referees have favored you guys as well. And if you look back, you'll be like, "Oh man, somebody else probably looks back and says, I can't remember anything off the top of my head. Oh, that wasn't a penalty and they gave it to Liverpool, or that wasn't a goal." But yeah, you're right. You're actually right. Because same, I don't really care about refereeing, and I don't like to, think too much about it. I just like, I like to focus on my team. But yeah, I do think that it's just funny to me the way the camera was in his face and he was speaking like, bro, you are a referee. What do you think is going to happen?
I think he said there was a part of it, he said, "Oh, don't let this video get out." So I don't know. It's like maybe the guy is sliding or
what? Are you stupid? Like,
why would he even be saying that exactly? In first place,
man. I'm like, nah.
Saying your club is well.
But he's not the one that I wanted. He should have been one of those main, like Mike Dean or
Anthony Taylor or those guys.
Those are the main ones.
The culprits that fans have marked their face and say, this guy, you've cost us. So yeah, hopefully
we're glad is not something that has to do with us now. If not,
that's what somebody was saying.
This would have been a long international break.
I'm telling you, man. Say, you see, we told you guys. We told you there is a bias against us. They don't want us to win the league, or they don't want us to go invincible, or they don't want us to break Chelsea's 15-goal record.
Yeah, so like Liverpool, you guys can have it for now, but we'll revisit it soon, because you guys also are corporates, but we won't say too much right now. You guys can enjoy it right now.
I don't even want to argue with you. Which corporates are we? Well, okay. Okay. If you say so, we're corporates. All right, guys. Okay, so this is where we have to bring the show to an end. The Adams, it was nice. Just the two of us. We held it down. We held our own.
As usual, man. As usual, man.
We have some people running, hiding,
Hiding.
They're probably
hiding after a draw. Bro, come on, man.
Some other people are still trying to steal over the loss, digesting over losing to Ipswich Town at home.
Ipswich Town.
Digesting, giving Ipswich Town their first Premier League win in almost over 20-something years.
Man, it can't be me.
There's that meme that says Ipswich has not won a game this thing. There comes in. That's where Tottenham comes in. So that kind of thing. So yeah, do so. No worries, man. Better times ahead if you're listening. Oh, I'm sure you're going to see it afterwards.
Missing, man. Missing. Uzo. Where are you, bro?
All right, guys. Thanks so much for for all the comments, for all the likes. Much appreciated. Yeah, please do the needful. Yeah, and do the needful. Subscribe, like, and then drop us a comment. Manchester United fans, if you want to drop the Adams a comment, drop him a comment. He's beefing you. He's
Hey,
beefing you guys.
George, man, George is coming on soon. So he'll be here to defend himself.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one. Take care.
Peace out.